Welcome, my friends, and to the friends of What's on the Menu. We're going to have a special day today. We're at the Emerald Rose, which is located on Route 3A in Billerica, Massachusetts. And for old people like myself, it's in the Pinehurst section. People probably don't know where Pinehurst is, but if you're over 50, you probably recognize the name. And here is the manager of the restaurant, Gary Olson. Thanks for coming and letting us in here today, brother.
Thank you.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the restaurant first. It's a beautiful facility. We'll have pictures all taken about how it looks. It's just Irish, no question about that.
Oh yeah, Irish pub theme. Yep.
And when they went, the owners, how did they determine they want to have it Irish? Did they do a lot of research, or how do the Emerald Rose? That's really Irish. So
yeah, well, I think 10 years ago or 12 years ago when they were planning it, Irish pubs were kind of all the rage, and so they decided they wanted to open an Irish pub, and one of they have some Irish heritage behind them, and they took a couple trips to Ireland and got a lot of the artwork and things that you'll see around the restaurant.
They did a wonderful job in decorating this place. This really looks good.
Yeah, they do everything first class.
I've only been in Ireland, but I haven't been in all the pubs, but I suppose this is basically what an Irish pub looks like from on the inside.
I think they tried to get the good feel of an Irish pub, but still have it be a neighborhood feel to it. And of course we have the white tablecloth dining room also adjacent to the pub.
So let's talk a little bit about the menu. Is the menu basically an Irish or what?
Well, I'd say it's pretty eclectic. We have some Irish type dishes in terms of like the shepherd's pie and bangers and mash, fish and chips. We sell a lot of seafood here, for a lot of fresh salmon and swordfish and haddock, and I think a lot of times what people don't realize about Ireland is it's an island.
It is an island, yeah.
Seafood is huge there.
Really?
And we sell a lot of seafood here. It's by far if you look at a food group, it's by far our number one seller is seafood.
And I suppose with our alcoholic beverages, we have all sorts of Irish beer and all European
Guinness,
beers. Would that be true?
The Guinness, if you take Guinness and Smithwick's, which is made by Guinness, those are that's our number one seller. We sell a lot of Guinness beer. Right now we have a special product by Guinness. It's a 250th anniversary product. They're celebrating their 250th anniversary of brewing at that location in Ireland, and they have introduced a limited version of Guinness, only available at a handful of places in Massachusetts, and we have that Guinness product.
So what about how like the hours? You're open 7 days a week, basically?
We are. Every day we open at 11:30 for lunch every day. We serve continuously right through lunch menu right till 4 o'clock, and then dinner from 4 until 10. And then on the weekends we go a little bit later with like a limited bar, pub type menu in the bar. And Sundays we open at 11 and we do a little brunch.
A little brunch.
Yeah.
And how about, I saw a little sign down, you have entertainment here for some nights or some afternoons?
Yeah, we do.
Mornings, how do you do that?
Yeah, we have entertainment in our pub, live music. It's usually like an acoustic or acoustic duo sometimes. Sometimes I do have some Irish music. I have a fellow named Tom Courtney who plays and sings Irish tunes he plays guitar, and it's a fiddle. He has a fiddler with him, so it's more traditional Irish. Once a month on Friday night, I have an Irish folk group called Aidan's Clan in third Friday of every month. So we mix in some Irish stuff, and then of course around the holiday, around St. Patrick's Day, I have a whole week of Irish
Everybody's
music.
green then.
Oh yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, that's our big holiday. So
now we're going to talk a little bit about. We talked a little bit about the menu, but just before we get this out of the way, now you have a website. We can go on there and look at the menu.
Yes, we do. Yes.
We'll put that up later on when they do the editing of this program, and we can get anything to go. We got any.
Oh yeah, we do.
Anything that's on the menu can go out the door, so you call earlier and you can come and pick it up?
Yeah, we do. The whole menu is available to go, lunch and dinner all day.
All right, so I think we covered that pretty well. Well, let's talk about Mr. O. Olson. the Irish Old. So how'd you get into this business yourself?
It's kind of a funny story. I started caddying on a golf course when I was a kid up at Myopia Hunt Club, and one day they grabbed me off the golf course to help in the kitchen and as a dishwasher, and over time the chef kind of took me under her wing. She was actually English, from England, and she sort of showing me some, and I got interested in cooking, and I went on to go to the Culinary Institute of America in New York.
A great place out there in New York, great school.
Top-notch school.
Yeah.
And after that I traveled around the country doing different chef jobs in New York, Wisconsin, Florida. And then I settled back here in this area, worked in Boston for a while, and different restaurants in the Boston area. And now I came to the Emerald Rose about 6.5 years ago. Started as the head chef and ran the kitchen for 4 years or so. And then about 2.5 years ago, I took over as a general manager. And I have pretty much the same kitchen crew that's been here. My number 2 guy took over as the chef, so it's some nice continuity.
You have to have the continuity. You have to have that continuity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a wonderful school out there in New York. I think I know a few people. I've eaten there. They had a lot of restaurants in there.
Oh yeah, the American Bounty. And
Do you like in your education you learn how to cook pretty much everything? So now you're in the Emerald Rose. This is basically, we're going to lean it towards the Irish side. Is there anything special that you have to know how to do as far as that's concerned? Or do you just Americanize Irish food? I mean, it's pretty hard to Americanize bangers and mash, right?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, I think it's, we just sort of try to do some of the Irish dishes, but do them well and do them the way that we think Americans have kind of accepted them and liked them. For example, the shepherd's pie that we're probably going to look at today. Traditionally it's made with lamb. And if you go to Ireland to a pub, you get it made with ground lamb. But Americans aren't. It's a little strong flavor for a lot of Americans. So we make it here with ground beef, and people seem to really like it that way. So it's sort of an interpretation of a lot of classic Irish dishes.
How many seats do you have in this? This is a pretty big operation here.
Yeah, we have about 90 seats in our dining room, in the room, the next room adjacent to the pub, and then we have about another 60 seats in here along the walls, and then we have about another 40 stools at the bar.
And do you have any? Do you rent any of this particular restaurant out for, like receptions?
Occasionally,
like
the dining room, certain situations, will rent it out Saturday and Sunday afternoons for wedding showers and that type of thing. And I should also mention we have 2 outdoor patios with additional seating.
Very nice. There's plenty of parking out there anyway. I was out there and hadn't had any trouble parking my car.
Yeah.
So that was good. So I think we're in pretty good shape here. I think we ought to. So we're going to talk about shepherd's pie. Tell us a little bit about shepherd's pie before we move into the kitchen and have somebody demonstrate shepherd's pie.
Sure. Well, like I said, we make it with ground beef. And it's kind of an all-inclusive dish because it has vegetables in it, with peas and corn and carrots cooked in with the ground beef with different flavors. But then what people like about it is I think we make the mashed potatoes and we pipe them on top with a pastry bag and a nice little design and bake it in the oven. You get that nice little crunch to the top of the potatoes that you bite through, and it's just such a comfort food.
It's making me hungry already. Forgot.
And it stays really hot for a long time as you eat it. It retains the heat.
What about dessert? What do we got for Irish desserts?
We make our own bread pudding here. Really? With a whiskey sauce. And,
Woo, whiskey sauce. That'll be out of my league. I'm not that.
Yeah, and we do a nice version of like a brownie, ice cream brownie sundae, but we make it with chocolate whiskey ice cream, which is unbelievable. And we make our own apple crisp. So we do some nice desserts that we make right in-house.
All right. Well, why don't we go out into the kitchen and see if we can't see how shepherd's pie is prepared by a professional chef.
Okay.
And finally, biology. Dale. Me. Yeah, I'll do it. Me too. Sign me up.
Take on the tough classes now. You need them to prepare for college.
All right, now we move from the dining room to the kitchen where Charlene Lombard, otherwise known as Charlie, is going to whip us up some shepherd's pie. All right, let's step over here and take a look. What do you got here? Show us what we have.
Here we have 10 pounds of ground beef, some peas and corn, tomato paste, lamb stock, carrots, and some onions.
So it's just a question of being able to put it all together.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so how are you going to start? Go ahead.
I'm going to take the beef and I'm going to put it in the pan over here.
All right. Get out of your
Already
way.
warmed up a little bit.
And what's that? Just brown it up in that big pan?
Yep, I'm just going to cook it up with the onions so the flavors mix together.
All right.
Chop it all up so it cooks nicely. Usually I just go like this. My gloves on. As it cooks, I'll just keep separating it.
How many shepherd's pies would you get out of this big piece of hamburger?
20 to 22.
Really?
Yeah.
After about 20 minutes of cooking the ground beef for the shepherd's pie, Charlie adds white pepper, bay leaves, and granulated garlic to the beef.
Now here we have some tomato paste and the lamb stock.
Yeah, tell me again so we get this. This is what?
Lamb stock.
Lamb sauce and tomato paste.
Right, lamb stock. Yeah.
Lamb stock.
Right. We're just gonna pour that in there. Mix it around. Okay, I'm gonna mix that in there too. Now you see why we drain it off, right?
Yeah.
Before we put it in the casserole dishes. Okay, I'm adding my carrots.
Carrots are going in.
And then the peas and the corn are also going in. At this point, it's just a matter of cooking to combine the flavors. Break them up a little bit.
The carrots kind of changed the look of it. If I was home, I never. I don't know if I would put carrots in it periodically, but it changes the whole look of it.
Yeah, it makes it look a little brighter.
Yeah.
It's also good for you.
Yeah.
And we cook off those carrots, say al dente, almost all the way cooked, but not quite. And add them to the thing. And we're going to cook this for a little while. And then
What do you call it? What's the chef's definition of a little while?
Oh, a little while, I don't know.
Because the hamburger's cooked already, right?
Right, so now we just have
Now we're just dealing with the carrots, because they take the longest.
Actually, right now it's the frozen peas.
Yeah, the peas.
Well, we also need to blend the flavor. The longer it cooks, the better it tastes.
Right. So how many pounds of potatoes did we do?
5 pounds mashed potatoes.
Steam them.
Yep.
Put them in earlier and they're all steamed up.
Right, they're ready to go.
And what are you going to put in? I see a little.
I'm going to add half a pound of butter.
Yeah.
And then some salt and pepper and some light cream. Okay, I added the half pound of butter.
Right.
And now I'm going to put the potatoes in. Sometimes this is a very messy process. But they're too hard to play with your hands. Okay, so set this up 5 minutes on slow. We don't want to wear the potatoes. So we're going to get that kind of broken up. We don't want any lumps, because when we put it through the pastry bag, it'll get stuck. Okay, I'm going to add some cream. Probably have enough in there already. I want it to be moist enough to squeeze through the bag, but not too moist or
It'll just melt.
it'll spread out as you cook it in and it won't be good.
How does that get to the real out to the edges of the pan? I mean, of course, the thing is manufactured
Adding
to be
salt.
perfect.
Yeah, pretty much. Sometimes you have to scrape it down
To
and
get mix it in a little bit.
a little bit of pepper. Thing is, you don't want to put in too much salt or pepper because then you can't remove it. This is like cam spray. It's called Vegeline, and we like to spray the containers. It'd be nice to the dishwashers, especially those ends, because and that's where the potatoes are going to cook the most.
The dishwasher must have been very happy when they invented that spray, huh?
I'm sure, yeah. I'm going to take the shepherd's pie and put it up here. The towel in front of it. And the reason I have it leaning is so the oils will all drain that way, and I'll take the meat from here and put it in the containers. Just put this up here for a little bit. Again with a little bit. This is a whip. We use this to make it light and fluffy. If you use a paddle, it would work too, but this works better. It's going to fall. Okay, now let's scoop some shepherd's pie into our casserole dishes. Kind of level it out like that. My pastry bag and my star tip. If you fold over the pastry bag over your hand, spread your hand wide, you'll be able to hold it and scoop at the same time. Put a good amount in there. Squeeze it to the bottom. And this is the fun part.
Yep.
It's like making V's. So you squeeze and you squeeze and you squeeze. You gotta kind of have like a constant squeeze or you're gonna get squiggles. Like that.
Perfect.
Before this, I did cake decorating.
Really?
Yeah.
So just make all these. If you had a different kind of an end on the pastry bag there, would you do it a different way? Or?
Well, this is the way we do it here. You could do
Right.
it several other ways. You could fill it with stars. Like this. And you just go like this.
All right, yeah. We don't want to demonstrate that. They'll be saying, let's
Yeah.
change.
This way. You could do like a checkerboard type. You know, if you did it all this way and then did it that way, be like a weaving of a basket. You know, whatever you wanted to do. But this is the way we do it here.
Yeah,
Looks
that's
good.
nice.
And then when
Yeah,
it
looks
browns
good.
off in the oven, it'll be really
Yeah.
beautiful.
So how long would you have to put that in the oven for?
I believe it takes 5 minutes.
Really? That's
Yeah.
it, huh?
Well, because it's already pre-cooked, so basically we're just heating it
Just
back
right,
up
right.
and browning the top.
High heat.
Yes, yeah. I believe it goes in our 300 oven for 3 or 4 minutes, and then it's moved to the top, which is 500 degrees to brown.
Perfect. Perfect.
There you go.
Yo, check out this chef, right? Right? That's so gay. That's really gay. Look at those pants.
Please don't say that.
What?
Don't say that something is gay when you mean that something is dumb or stupid. It's insulting. It's like if I thought this pepper shaker was stupid and I said, man, this pepper shaker is so 16-year-old boy with a cheesy mustache. Just saying. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
Now, we're back from the kitchen. Charlie was very professionally prepared this, excuse me, this comfort food. So, what do we have? Why don't you explain? Look at this here. It's perfect. You know, I mean, the way that this is the original design. Put
Oh,
the
it's
potatoes
beautiful,
on.
Yeah.
You know.
The
Now,
way
how
she
many
pipes it
people?
out on there.
How many people are we gonna feed with that? Am I gonna eat that whole thing by myself?
You're going to eat that whole thing. That's a one-person dish, but it's a complete meal. I mean, you have your vegetable and your potato and your protein, the ground beef. So you don't need to have all the sides with it.
My fans down in Woburn who watch me on TV say, "How come you don't weigh 300 pounds eating all this wonderful, wonderful food?" There's no question about it. It is wonderful. You see it prepared, and people will eat with their eyes. There's nothing wrong with looking at this piece of dinner right here. So why don't you get that spoon and throw a little bit on here, and I'm going to taste it up. Get my napkin ready.
Potatoes keep it hot for a long time underneath there too.
Yeah, that's good for now. We're going to start right off here.
a piece of our, it's our home-baked raisin bread, similar to
Maybe
an Irish
we'll
soda
have-
bread, but not, it's very moist. We make that right here at the
We'll
Rose.
try that. You want to see me put the butter on here, Kyle? You ready? It's like, how am I going to get through the door? I'll be so fat I won't be able to get out the door.
Sideways.
Okay. While I'm chewing on this, why don't you give us a little review about where the location and the hours of operation?
Sure. We're located right on Route 3A in the Pinehurst section of Billerica, which is also Boston Road. We're about half a mile north of the Burlington-Billerica line on the left-hand side as you're heading north. We're open every day at 11:30 for lunch. We serve continuously right through till 10 o'clock at night. Lunch menu goes until 4. We start the dinner menu at 4 o'clock. We're open, our bar is open a little bit later than that, 11:30 on the weekdays and 12:30 on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. We serve a Sunday brunch. We opened a little bit early on Sundays at 11 o'clock. We serve a Sunday brunch from 11 to 2. It's not a buffet, it's an a la carte brunch.
This is delicious. This is a. Now, how'd you define this now? It's raisin bread.
It's a raisin bread. It's not really a
Did you make this right
Irish
here?
soda bread. Yeah, we make it here, yeah.
You make all the bread here?
Yeah, we do.
Really?
Yeah. All the bread for our bread baskets we make here, yeah.
Wow, this is wonderful. Wonderful.
And we
So-
bake it every morning fresh. You smell it when you come in the morning baking. It's wonderful
That'll
bread.
make it weigh a lot.
Yeah.
Now, we can get anything on the menu to go. People can
Oh, yeah.
call.
Yeah, we do a lot of
Okay,
takeout. I think we're kind of on the way home for a lot of people. A lot of people stop in for takeout as they're heading home from work.
And the website has, we'll write that down anyway. We'll put that up on the tape. But the website has a menu on it. You'll be able to see whatever.
All of our menus, also all of our events, our live music that we have scheduled is always on the website, as well as any special events we might have coming up, like for instance, Thanksgiving. I have the Thanksgiving menu up there for the fall. Mother's Day, different holidays throughout the year, and other events we might have going on at the restaurant.
This is delicious.
You like that?
Really
It's
is.
good.
This is delicious, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I could exist on this kind of food. There's no question about it. Very good. I think once in a while, my wife might cook at home. I don't think she puts carrots in it, but there may be carrots in it from now on because they give it does two
Yeah.
things. It gives it a little color, right, for the
Yep.
presentation, and they're good for you,
Right.
right?
And to give it a nice flavor too. Yep. You have to come back and try our bangers and mashed
Bangers and
sometime
mashed.
too. I think that's that's my favorite thing on the menu is the bangers. Mild Irish. It's a slang for like a mild Irish sausage.
Is that the definition of a banger? Is a sausage?
Yeah, it's a mild Irish style sausage. We
If
serve
somebody
it.
asked me, I probably would have said it was like a hot dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that I know the difference, but
Oh no, it's
I
not.
probably should know the difference.
It's not spicy, Ed, like an Italian sausage, which traditionally have a lot of garlic
Yeah.
or fennel and spices in it. It's very mild. It's made with breadcrumbs and beef and pork, and we grill them and serve them right over our Irish-style mashed potatoes, and serve it with like a nice pub gravy and some caramelized onions. Just the flavors all together is just incredible, delicious. My favorite thing on the menu, and quite a few of our regulars too come in for them all the time.
If you have to tell the truth, when you have a responsibility as like general manager of a restaurant of this size, do you really eat here very often, or just eat to make sure everything is up to snuff? How does that work?
I taste, I think a lot of it is back to my kitchen roots too. I have a habit of, before we open in the morning, I'll go through the kitchen and just take a little taste of the soup, our clam chowder, our onion soup, the chili, just to make sure that everything is being prepared properly, that it's hot enough. I'll have a thermometer that I'll carry in my pocket a lot in the morning and check the temperatures on the line on the steam table to make sure everything is properly heated up and it's hot enough going out. And taste a lot of those things every morning.
So besides the headaches of the paperwork and personnel and all the rest of it, you get to supervise, really get into the food. You have to be watching it all the time.
Oh yeah, constantly. You know, because consistency is people want to have that consistency, and they come to a restaurant and have the shepherd's pie one day, and then come back, you know, a month, 2 months, 6 months later, it needs to be exactly the same. So we're constantly checking to make sure that recipe adherence, we call it, to make sure everybody's adhering to the
and
proper
the potatoes
recipes.
do keep it warm. There's no question about that.
Oh yeah,
Huh?
for a long time. Yeah, keep everything hot inside there.
Very, very good. Very good. I'm going to have another piece of that bread, though, because I think that stuff is really something. Be jealous, all you out there. Come up here and try this. It's wonderful. The people are wonderful. The food's wonderful. The facility itself, look at the fireplace right here, nice and warm.
Oh, this is a great spot right here. The favorite spot in the fall and winter, and people want to come in and sit at the fireplace table. It's a great spot.
You can't blame them for that.
In the back of our, located in the back of our pub. It's just a nice, friendly atmosphere, both in the dining room, particularly in the bar. A lot of. You'd be amazed how many people like to come in and sit at the bar and have dinner. A lot of people.
Reservations, of course.
Yes. Yeah, we take reservations. But at the bar, a lot of couples will come in and just sit and have dinner at the bar and talk to the bartenders and talk to each other. It's a nice community feel at the bar.
Well, Gary, it's been wonderful. Thanks for the invitation.
Sure.
And we'll be back.
Thanks for coming up to see us.
Been a pleasure.
Terrific.
Thank you.